6-inch roast beef and cheese with Swiss.
Turn around. Turn that way. Turn that way. Turn that way. Face that way, please. Thank you very much. Ladies, it's going to be a moment for your sandwiches. I do apologize. This in no way, shape, or form reflects poorly on Subway.
On February 16th, 2024, Palm Beach County Sheriff's detectives arrested a Subway employee for an internal theft scheme. The legal analysis that follows focuses not on the theft itself, but on the constitutional and procedural questions raised during the arrest and interview.
Mr. Smith, step away. Turn around. Turn that way. Turn that way. Turn that way. Face that way, please. Thank you very much. Ladies, it's going to be a moment for your sandwiches. I do apologize. This in no way, shape, or form reflects poorly on Subway. I hope that you guys do eat fresh and you enjoy your meal. Thank you, sir. Come on, please. Any knives or anything on you, bud?
No.
Someone will be right out to help you.
No, she just left up to the store.
She'll be right back. See you in a second. Step on. Step on. All right, we are going to park right over here for a moment. (603 Delta 1015). Watch your step. 1015, same location. If you can, send road patrol for transport. If you would just lean against that for a moment. Thank you, sir. Anything on you that I should know about?
No, just my cell phone.
Okay, nothing that's sharp, or I don't have to worry about being stuck. I've been stuck before as a reason. Oh. Get some cash falling out of your pocket. Looks like 25 and put it right back here in your pocket, all right? What about these keys?
That's my store key.
Store key? Okay. I'm going to make sure that I leave that here, all right? What's in here?
Nothing.
Not getting fresh. All right, looks like more cash. Get a lot of zippers, man. Not getting fresh.
Can I be asked while I'm being detained?
I was asked by another detective to pick you up and detain you so that he can have a chat with you. If you would, just give me a few moments, all right? Can you sit still with this gentleman for a moment? I need to go grab my Miranda card real quick.
Sit over here on the curb.
Okay, let me...
Another detective said to come and get me.
Yes, sir, he did.
Can I ask why?
He knows all about it. It's not my case. But just in case you do want to chat with me, I'll get you a Miranda card real quick so you understand.
Nah, I don't want to talk.
Okay.
Hold on. Before she
leave,
I just want to give her like my stuff.
Okay, well, I understand all that.
And I want to call someone.
Go and have a seat. Okay, have a seat.
Anything belongs to Subway?
He's got keys right there.
Yeah, but my house is over here.
All right, Mr. Lewis, I'm not asking you any questions, but I am going to read this to you. I'm required to warn you before you make any statement. You have the following constitutional rights. You have the right to remain silent, not answer any questions. Any statement you make must be freely and voluntarily given. You have the right to the presence and representation of a lawyer of your choice before you make any statement during any questioning. If you cannot afford a lawyer, you are entitled to the presence and representation of a court-appointed lawyer before you make any statement during any questioning. If at any time during the interview you do not wish to answer any questions, you are privileged to remain silent. I can make no threats or promises to induce you to make a statement. This must be of your own free will. Any statement can and will be used against you in a court of law. Did you understand all of those? Do you want me to repeat any of them? I'm sorry, sir. Can you say it out loud? Okay. I just want to make sure that you understood me and there was no misinterpretation. All right.
The first legal anchor is the Fourth Amendment. A warrantless arrest in a public commercial space requires probable cause, defined in Beck v. Ohio. Here, the franchise owner had assembled point-of-sale records, voided transactions, and correlated video surveillance before contacting law enforcement. This evidentiary foundation satisfies the probable cause standard well beyond the constitutional minimum. The second and central legal issue is the Fifth Amendment. Under Miranda v. Arizona, custodial interrogation must be preceded by 4 specific warnings: the right to remain silent, that any statement may be used in court, the right to counsel, and the right to appointed counsel if indigent. The detaining detective delivered these warnings verbatim from a printed card. eliminating any later claim of incomplete advisement. Critically, before reading the warnings, the detective stated, quote, "I am not asking you any questions, but I am required to warn you." End quote. This framing is designed to insulate the encounter from any claim of pre-Miranda interrogation under Oregon v. Mathiasen. After the warnings, the suspect responded, quote, "No, I don't want to talk." End quote. This statement triggers Berghuis v. Thompkins. That decision requires that an invocation of the right to silence be unambiguous before police are obligated to cease all interrogation. The suspect's statement was facially unambiguous. The detaining detective correctly stopped substantive questioning and transported the subject without further inquiry. The legal complication arises when the lead detective enters the interview room and begins, quote, explaining, end quote, the charges in detail. Under Rhode Island v. Innis, interrogation includes not only direct questions but also any words or conduct reasonably likely to elicit an incriminating response. A detailed recitation of evidence to a recently Mirandized suspect arguably falls within the functional equivalent of interrogation. The detective is rescued from a suppression risk by the suspect himself, who clarifies that he was merely waiting for formal Miranda warnings. Under Edwards v. Arizona, when a suspect initiates further communication, prior invocations may be treated as effectively withdrawn, combined with the suspect's affirmative statement that he understood his rights. This reopening constitutes a valid, implied waiver.
All right. Give us a few moments. When the employee gets here, we'll separate the keys, make sure that you've got your personal stuff. All right.
I'll just explain to him that the detective's not used for probable cause.
Sergeant Powell, how are you? I am. We've got a second 1015 for Vera. He's going to be coming out to speak to him, but we just need to transport him to the district. Yes, sir. Get down at Southern and Crestwood at the subway. Eat fresh.
Officers transported the suspect back to the station for questioning, and when the cameras started rolling, he gave his side of the story. Meanwhile, the store manager provided a detailed statement of what led up to the arrest.
Now, Jake, you already made a police report with us, and what we're going to do is I'm going to swear you in.
Okay.
Okay, so everything you tell me from here is going to be the truth.
Okay.
Okay, so raise your right hand. You swear everything you're telling me is going to be the truth?
I do.
All right, so let's get started. Jake, briefly, what made you call us initially?
Well, I just started noticing the sales were lower than they should be.
Well, let's start off, what store are we?
Subway.
Okay, and you are the
Owner, yes.
And what is the address to the Subway?
12041 Southern Boulevard, Suite 2, Loxatchee.
Okay, and what day did you notice the shortage?
Let's see, it's been. Well, I've noticed the sales been down for a while, but last, let's see, 2 Saturdays ago would have been the 3rd. I went to the store and there was, opened the safe expecting there to be money and there was none. So that kind of got me thinking.
Lewis?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, take the beer, man.
I do.
Good. You?
Good, I'm always good.
You always good?
I'm always good, unless I'm sick.
All right, so, do you know why you're under arrest?
No, sir.
All right, I'm just going to explain why you're under arrest.
All right.
You already told my partner here that you don't want to talk, but I will at least inform you what's going on, okay?
No, I didn't tell him I didn't want to. He was reading me to Miranda, and I was like, okay. I guess he wanted me to, converse about it, but the Miranda, I know, there's nothing you could really say, but
You understand?
Yes, sir.
You understood your rights in the Miranda,
Yeah,
right?
of course.
That just explains your rights
of
that you
course.
afforded.
Of course.
I don't know, but right before that you said, I don't want to talk. Was that in reference to what's going on, or you didn't want to talk to him in general?
No, when he was talking about, I was just waiting on him to read the Miranda. He didn't read me the Miranda then.
Oh, okay.
It's
So you wanted,
pointless to talk about anything.
So you wanted your rights read first?
Yeah,
before you decided.
not even, but it's like, we grown men. We don't got time to be playing around,
All right. So, over the course of, I would say, 2 weeks,
Mm-hmm.
all right, you have been voiding out transactions,
Mhm.
taking cash from customers,
Mhm.
and it doesn't go into cash, the till.
Right.
You've been pocketing the money. So there's a lot of video matching up with all your cancellations.
So your boss came to us and said, hey, I have Mr. Smith has 86 voided transactions over a 2-week period, which is far above normal.
Right.
So there's an allotted amount of voided transactions. You bring up applesauce or whatever, you're gonna void it out. You're voiding out whole transaction, like 3 subs, 2 subs, and then in a video, when we correlate the transaction to the video, you see, you take the cash, you tell the people the card's not working, or the card's not working, whatever it may be. They give you cash, you take the cash, you go back to the back of the room, I don't know what's back there, and if they need change, you hand them change from wherever you got the change from, but it's not coming from the till. Okay?
Okay.
So then the manager started matching up because the profits were low, and these are all on days you're working by yourself.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? So this is why you're under arrest.
Okay.
Okay, do you understand that?
Sort of, kind of, yeah.
Sort of, kind of?
Yeah, sort of,
okay.
kind of.
So, I mean, you read Miranda, so if you want to talk about why you're doing it, I don't know, maybe you're not getting paid enough or needing more money for your bills, and it's just like a side hustle to get some extra cash. I don't know. I don't know how you get to work. I know you have a suspended license, revoked license, right? So I don't know if you need money to get home, and this is why you're doing this. It's not a lot of money, because you know, Subway doesn't. It's not like a $100 bill.
Right,
It was
right.
like $20, $10.
Right.
And he did this morning too, because he was sending me a video this morning until the other employee showed up, and then the transaction stopped. So, do you have anything to say about that? Do you want to watch one of the videos?
Nah, I don't got anything to say, you know. I don't have anything to say, you know.
Yeah.
It's just a universe, you know, so I'm not really, you know.
Well, universe what?
No, I'm just saying it's just the universe, like, you know, things happen, you know.
Like what things have happened?
No, I'm just saying, like, things happen. I'm not, you know, I'm not feeling like, you know, like, really, like, on some other type of time. I'm aware of what's going on,
Okay.
you know.
Well, is there a reason? Is there like a reason that you have to do this, or is this just, you're just doing it? Listen, I understand, like, rent's expensive,
Right.
a lot of shit's expensive.
Right.
And I understand that working a job like that, and then you were also just got out of prison a couple years ago.
Yeah.
So it's hard to get a job that's gonna
But
pay
nah,
the
it
bills.
ain't got nothing to do with that.
No?
Nah,
You're just trying to-
because if that's the case, if that's the case, I would have been back in prison for real.
Getting it.
I went to prison for robbery.
Getting the big rips.
No, I'm just saying if that was the case,
Yeah.
that's not really the case. Like, you
So
know,
then
you
what-
gotta. It's like I don't know. I don't know what the, you know. I'm not saying I didn't do it. I'm not saying I did do it, but like, you know, you gotta you know. I know I'm a black guy, whatever. You know what I'm saying. I know I'm overqualified for the job. You know what I'm saying. I just feel like, you know, this, like I said, it's just the universe. Like, I wasn't, like, you know, I take full responsibility or whatever. I'm a man for
Okay.
anything, you know what I'm saying? So, you know, it happened. You know, I'ma just deal with whatever.
Was it just something easy to do over that course of time?
Nah, it's not that, cause it's like, since you guys got camera footage, you could go back, and I haven't stole from him. Feel what I'm saying? Like, I've been working for him for a minute.
For 2 months.
Yeah.
And it started like right at the end of January.
So it's like,
So it's been recent, like the last.
I don't know about right at the end of January, but like, I don't, you know, it's like, if you're getting accused for something and you just get into the store, it's like, I ain't even been here that long.
Yeah. But that wasn't right when you got in the store.
Hmm?
It wasn't right when you got in the store.
What you mean?
You started working 2 months ago. So this is like a little bit later, right? This is
Right, but I'm saying, like,
the videos I have go back to February 3rd.
Right.
Okay, so
Right, I catch you.
all right, so that's what, 2 weeks ago. It's over 2
Maybe,
weeks.
yeah,
2 weeks.
probably
Because
like 2
today's what,
weeks.
the 17th?
Right.
Today's 17th, 16th.
Right.
So it's about 2 weeks.
Right.
So the last 2 weeks. So in the last 2 weeks, the universe changed for you, where you.
No, what I mean by the universe, meaning, whatever someone does, they either gonna have to accept it or run from it for real.
Well, that's everything in life. Consequences.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That's so the universe. So
everyone has consequences to every action.
For sure. Okay. That's why I'm not. You know, it is what it is. I'm not finna sit up here and.
Turning to the substantive charges, Florida Statute 8:12.01(4) defines grand theft as the knowing taking of property with intent to deprive. Property valued between $750 and $20,000 constitutes third-degree felony grand theft, punishable by up to 5 years. The alleged loss of approximately $10,000 places this conduct squarely within third-degree felony territory. Florida Statute 8:17.034. The Florida Communications Fraud Act criminalizes any systematic ongoing course of conduct intended to defraud. 86 voided transactions over a 2-week period, correlated to cash diversion, satisfies the systematic and ongoing element. Notably, the prosecution charged scheme to defraud rather than robbery. This selection reflects the elements at play, not prosecutorial leniency. Robbery under Florida Statute 8:12.13 requires force, violence, or intimidation. None of those elements are present in this case. The witness statement procedure is also legally significant. The franchise owner was placed under oath before providing his account. Under Florida Statute 92.525. A written or oral sworn statement carries the legal weight of in-court testimony and exposes the declarant to perjury. This transforms an informal complaint into admissible evidence and strengthens the prosecution's position at trial. On scoring, the arresting detective earns an A- for verbatim Miranda delivery, restraint after invocation, and exemplary property handling. The interviewing detective receives a B. The interview produced admissions, but the initial framing created avoidable suppression exposure. The subject receives a C-. After a valid invocation, he reopened dialogue and offered self-characterizations that map directly onto statutory elements. The Palm Beach County Sheriff's Office receives a B+ for separation of duties and procedural rigor. 3 practical lessons emerge from this case. First, an invocation of the right to silence has no power unless the suspect maintains it. Once dialogue is reopened, courts will almost always find a waiver, regardless of how thorough the initial warnings were. Second, informal admissions carry the same legal weight as formal confessions. A philosophical framing is not a defense. Statements such as, "I am for the people" or "it is just the universe," when offered in response to specific allegations, function as admissions to elements. Third, dissatisfaction with an employer is never a legal defense to theft under Florida law or under the law of any other American jurisdiction. The proper remedy for unfair treatment is civil litigation, regulatory complaint, or resignation. It is never self-help through the register. Let us know if there is an interaction or legal topic that you would like us to discuss in the comments below. Thank you for watching. And don't forget to check out our second channel, Bodycam Case Analysis, second channel, for even more police interaction and courtroom content.